Welcome to this next video of one shot series. We are going to discuss today 3D geometry. So as we do in our one shot series, I will systematically start with weightage of the topic, then I will move towards syllabus comparison, and then we will go into the mind map of the chapter, and then the most important part of the discussion, division of problem into problem types, so that you understand how many category of problems are there and what are the techniques to handle those problems. So without any further ado, let us start with it. So the weightage of this topic is nothing but two questions. The two questions are asked at the level of JEE Mains almost every year. So two from vectors, two from 3D, make it in total 4 questions. And because of this reason, this topic is a high priority topic to be studied in the starting of your preparation. Now the next point is nothing but syllabus comparison. You can see that syllabus has remained almost syllabus same in 23-24. 25 syllabus is yet to be declared, but I assume that it is going to be same as 2024 syllabus. One major difference was there, and that was basically exclusion of this plane part. So you can see that all the articles related to plane were removed in 23, were removed from 2024 syllabus. And this is a major omission, and they have largely stuck to this omission. Like there were some omissions in vectors, some other chapters, but sometimes question came on those omissions. But in case of 3D, they stood with the omissions that they did in the syllabus, and these questions were not asked in the paper. Moving forward, now this is the mind map. So if I look into the mind map, now I can divide my 3D into two major parts. One is basically the basic part in which we are going to have a discussion on point. So if I have a point, the location of that will be decided based on octants. If I join it with the origin and generate a line out of it, we are going to discuss the concept of direction ratio, direction cosines. Then we'll move towards the idea of nothing but a line. And in that we are going to study the different types of equations, how that line is going to interact with a point. So the distance of a point from a line, the foot of the perpendicular on the line, the image of a point on the line, all these kind of questions we will see. Projection, then line and line, so projection of a line segment over a line, and then for different kinds of line, the concept of shortest distance. Now if I go in the details, now the first kind of problem that we are going to discuss is nothing but the problems based on direction ratio and direction cosine. So before we start, let us do a quick revision of what is direction ratio, what is direction cosine. So in respect to direction cosines, there are these 5 points that we need to know. The first point is direction cosines are unique in nature. So if I take a line, the direction cosines of that line would mean the angle, cosines of the angle that the line is generating from all the 3 axes. So this is x, this is y, and this is z. So what we are saying is, if I take this angle as alpha, then the direction cosine will be nothing but cos of alpha. Then if I take this angle with the y-axis as nothing but beta, so m can be considered as nothing but cos of beta. And if I consider this angle with the z-axis as nothing but gamma, so m can be considered as cos of gamma. So what we are saying is, this will always be unique for a line segment. Now the interesting thing to be noticed here is you should have a sense of visualization. So if you are standing in a room, make this mental picture that the left hand border where the wall of the room is meeting the floor, let us consider that as x-axis. The front part where your front wall and floor is meeting, let us consider that as y-axis. And then where this both of walls that they are meeting is nothing but the z-axis. So you can always imagine yourself standing in nothing but a octant. Now in this octant, if I assume a line moving from my head to the lowermost corner, the front corner of my room, which is nothing but the origin. So we are talking about this line, imaginary line, and it making the axis with all the 3 axes. Now you can see that if I move this line, all the 3 angles will change simultaneously. So cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are not always independent. The relation between them is, if I add them up, I will always add the square of them, I will get the value as 1. Now if you want to have a unit vector parallel to the line, it can be considered as nothing but Li cap, Mj cap, Nk cap. And if there are 2 points on the line, so if I have 2 points, one of the point is nothing but x1, y1, z1, and another point is nothing but x2, y2, z2. Then if I want to write the direction cosines of this line, then cos alpha can be written as nothing but, if r is nothing but the length of this line segment, it is nothing but x2 minus x1 by r. Similarly, cos beta or m can be written as nothing but y2 minus y1 by r, and similarly cos of gamma can be written as nothing but z2 minus z1 by r. So you can see that we have learned 4 important results. Moving on, there is a last important result. If I want to have a point on this line whose direction ratios are L, M and N, and one of the point is nothing but x1 comma y1 comma z1, I can use the same result that I have got here. So let me write it down. So this will become nothing but x minus x1 by r. So if you want to write the value of x, it is nothing but x1 plus lr. Similarly y1 plus lr and similarly z1 plus lr. You can see that this is how we are going to represent points. Now if I move forward, for direction ratios, we have again 5 set of important ideas. One, they are non-unique. Now what are direction ratios? Anything that is proportional to direction cosine is nothing but a direction ratio. They are non-unique in nature. So 1 comma 2 comma, let us take an example, 3, these are the direction ratios corresponding to that. 2, 4, 6 can also happen, and this is an example. If you have a line segment, next point is if you have a line segment having x1 comma y1 comma z1 as one endpoint and x2 comma y2 comma z2 is another endpoint, then the direction ratio of this line can be written as x2 minus x1 comma y2 minus y1 and comma z2 minus z1. So this is nothing but my third point. We have already covered 3 points. Moving forward, you can see that if I want to write a vector parallel, see this is not a unit vector. Earlier when we wrote the vector, this was a unit vector, and this is an important difference. So if I want to write it and ABC are the direction ratios, it can be written like this: AI cap plus BJ cap plus CK cap. And if you have ABC and if you want to write direction cosines using it, the idea is very simple: divide A by root of A square plus B square plus C square. Divide B by similarly root of A square plus B square plus C square, and similarly divide C by also root of A square plus B square plus C square. If you put a plus minus sign over it, it will cover the whole range of such kind of things. Now if I summarize the whole idea, you can see that if I want, direction cosines and direction ratios can be also used to find angle between the lines. So if you have vectors, if you take a dot product, you will get the angle between the lines. So for cos of angle between the lines, this is the formula. Similarly, if I have A1, A2, A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, this will give us the value of cos theta. And if you have parallel vectors, then what will happen? L1 will be equal to L2, M1, M2, N1 equal to N2. But in case of direction ratio, there is a proportionality into place. If you have perpendicular lines, you can see that the cos theta will become 0 and we'll get this result. Here also we have cos theta equal to 0, we'll get this result. Now let us look into this first question that came in 2019, April 9, shift 2. Question says that a unit vector meets an angle pi by 3 with I, pi by 4 with j, and some angle theta belonging to 0 comma pi with k, then the value of theta is. See, now what they have given is nothing but the angles. So if I want to write the value of m, that will be cos of pi by 3. If I want to write the value of m, that will be cos of pi by 4. And n is something that we'll want to find. So you can see that this value becomes 1 by 2. This value becomes 1 by root 2. And this we want to find. Now the relation that connects both of these ideas is L square plus m square plus n square is equal to 1. We can substitute the values, do the calculation and get the value of n from here. So it is a very simple question based on the idea of L square plus m square plus n square is equal to 1. If I move towards the next question, there was a question in 2014. What they have said is they have given us two relations. One is L plus m plus n is equal to 0 and another one is nothing but L square is equal to m square plus n square. What are they saying is, if you solve these two set of points, you will get two set of direction cosines, and if you get those two set of direction cosines, what will be the angle between those lines? Now in order to do this, you should understand that we just don't have these two relations. There is one invisible relation that we wrote earlier, L square plus m square plus n square is equal to 1. If I have this, let us see what we can do. So now once you have this, you can see that if I substitute the value of m square plus n square here, I have 12 L square is equal to 1. So the value of L becomes nothing but plus minus 1 by root 2. This is 1. See, now once you have this value, now we can do a lot of things. This is one. Another, we could have taken this L and substituted the value in the first equation. So it will become m plus n ka whole square is equal to m square plus n square. I am substituting the value from here to here. Once I do so, you can see that another thing that I get is, you can see that this m square cancels out, and you are getting m into n is equal to 0. So from here we have got two values of m is equal to 0 or n is equal to 0. Now let us use all of these to write those two set of direction cosines. So one, what we have is, if I take L as nothing but plus 1 by root 2 and m is equal to 0. See, there is either this will happen or that will happen. No? So m is equal to 0. Then what I have is nothing but L plus m plus n is equal to 0. So you can see that this point is 0. So n will come out to be minus 1 by root 2. This is one. Another thing that can happen is, if I take L as nothing but plus 1 by root 2, correspondingly m I don't know, but n I can take as 0. So now if I apply L plus m plus n is equal to 0, I can substitute the value, and now here you can see that this is 0, this I don't know, and this I know. So again n will come out to be nothing but minus 1 by root. M will come out to be nothing but minus 1 by root. See, once you have got both of these, now we can apply in the second step the formula of cos theta. So cos theta is nothing but L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2. We can substitute this set as L1 M1 N1, this as L2 M2 N2 in this formula and get the answer. So again, not a very difficult question. This next 2021 question says that alpha be the angle between the lines whose direction cosines. You can say this is the repetition of 2014 question. Similar kind of two relations are given. Similar questions. So there are two conditions given. One will take as nothing but L square plus m square plus n square is equal to 1. Solve these three like we did in the earlier question to find the value of L1 M1 N1, L2 M2 N2, and then get the angle between the lines. You can see that till here this is a copy paste of 2014 question, there is nothing new. After we have got the value of alpha, what you can do is you can substitute that value here and get the final answer. Moving forward, whenever you are solving a question of 3D, imagine that the left hand bottom edge of your room is nothing but x-axis, the forward bottom edge of your room is nothing but y-axis, and this edge on the left hand side front part is nothing but the z-axis. If you assume this, then the left hand bottom corner of the room is origin and you are standing in the first octant. Now always have this image in mind, and whatever is happening, imagine it happening in the room which you are sitting for solving the exam. Now this will make your imagination ability lit like anything. So if you have this technique into place, now what they're saying is, your floor, you can clearly see is nothing but xy plane, the wall in front is nothing but yz plane, the wall on the left hand side is nothing but xz plane. So see, this kind of visualization will help you solve questions faster. Now this 2024 question is very interesting. This question talks about a lot of things. So if you have a vector, OP vector, let us say what is happening. So they have given the length of vector is nothing but gamma. They are taking a projection of this vector. So they are taking a projection of this vector in the xy plane, and this point, if this is x comma y comma z, this point becomes x comma y comma 0, and now this angle is given as theta. So once you have this information into place, what they want is basically the distance of P from the x-axis. Now let us understand, if you have your vector OP like this, and x-axis is going like this, this angle is usually alpha, and this alpha is that of the direction cosine. So if I want to find this distance d, this is given as gamma, so I will have to apply sine alpha. So this sine alpha would be equal to nothing but d by gamma. You can see that the answer to this question comes out to be gamma times sine alpha. Now the problem is that I don't know what is sine alpha. So now what to do? So now if you want to find sine alpha I can't find, but I can write this as nothing but 1 minus cos square alpha. And now in this I can do something. to get the values. Now see, we already looked earlier that this is nothing but x by root of x square plus y square by z square. So that can be called as gamma. So this is nothing but x square by gamma square. Value of cos theta here in this triangle. So this angle will become 90 degree. So cos of theta will be nothing but x by root of x square plus y square. In this right angle triangle we can write that. So you can see that the value of x can be found. It is nothing but root of x square plus y square into cos theta. So we were able to find the value of cos theta, but see, still there is x square plus y square to be figured out. Now we have been given one more relation. What is that one more relation? We have been given the value of cos of phi. Now cos of phi is nothing but z by root of x square plus y square plus z square. So now what I can do here is basically nothing but using this expression, if I find cos square phi, it is going to be nothing but z square by x square plus y square plus z square. Now the value of x square from here would be nothing but x square plus y square into cos theta. This value can be substituted. Now if I do sin square phi, that will be 1 minus cos square phi, and if I find this value, it becomes 1 minus z square by x square plus y square plus z square. So you can get this value as nothing but x square plus y square by x square plus y square plus z square. You can see that this part will become nothing but gamma, and from here you have got the value of x square plus y square as nothing but gamma square sin square phi. Now we can take this x square y square value, substitute it here, and correspondingly get the value of x square. That will become nothing but gamma square sin square phi into cos square theta. Now if you put this value here, we have got our answer. So if I put this value here, we have got our answer as nothing but 1 minus, there is a gamma here, into 1 minus sin square theta sin square phi cos square theta. If I look into the option, you can see that my option A matches the description. So there are multiple parts in this question. Let us divide it into steps for better clarity. So we started with drawing this diagram. After that we went into what they are asking, and when we discovered what they were asking, it boiled down to getting the value of x square that we did not have. So in the third part, we try and figured out this value of x square. Then again we were stuck with x square plus y square, and for getting that value we will have to go into the value of cos phi. Once you have got this value of x square plus y square, we substituted it here, got the value of x square, and once you have got the value of x square, we substituted again and got the final answer. So you can see that this is primarily a formula based question. Even with less amount of visualization and more amount of formula, this question can be solved. But this is a beautiful question asked on the idea of direction ratio and direction cosine. Now in this type 2 problem, we are going to discuss the equations of straight line. If you want to draw a equation of straight line, there is a very simple idea into place. The idea is you will require a point on the line and a vector parallel to line. So if you have these two things, a point on the line, a vector parallel to line, you can write it using r vector. You can write it using vectors as this vector will become r vector minus a vector, and it will be parallel to nothing but b vector. So if you write the answer, it is nothing but a vector plus lambda b vector. Now this, what we have written here, also gives us more insight that when we are thinking what to do, so the problem solving technique of 3D lies in vectors. So if you have very good idea of vectors, you can come up with newer and newer idea very simply. If I convert this into Cartesian form, this is the equation I will get, and I hope that you are basically aware with how to cover those. If I equate it to r, I get a general point on the line. This is again a very important result. Now you can see that this question was asked in JEE Mains 2021, Fab 25 Shift 1. This question says that find the equation of a straight line through this point and perpendicular to this line. So when we write an equation through a point, that point is going to appear in the numerator. Now if you look into numerators, this point should appear in the numerator, and in denominator are nothing but the direction ratios or cosines of the line. So here you will write nothing but A, B, C. Now if you look into the options, because this is one of those questions without options you cannot solve, however hard you try it. Because if you take a line passing through a point, taken a perpendicular to a line, also multiple lines are possible. So what you need to do in this case is, look into this, the numerator of all the options match. If you can see, there is no problem with the numerator of any option, it all matches. So it fundamentally boils down to denominator. So what I can do is, if these lines are perpendicular to this given line, then we can have A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2 should be equal to 0. This idea should be satisfied. So let us see which of the options satisfies. If I check for option A, it is nothing but -3 from here, 2 from here. Then what we have is nothing but 4 from here and 3 from there. Then what we have is nothing but 3 from here and -2 from there. So let us see what it happens. This becomes -6, this becomes 12 -6, it comes out to be 0. So we can see that first option itself matches and we have got our answer. But technically speaking, we should also check other options. Now, next problem type is nothing but this type 3 point and line. Now, let us first reflect how many types of questions can be asked. So, if I have a line and if I have a point, first question that can be asked is, what is the foot of perpendicular? So, let us say this is the foot of perpendicular F, this can be asked, this is P. Another question can be asked, what is the image of this over this line? So, another question that can be asked is nothing but image. They can also ask what is the perpendicular distance, and then what is the equation of this line PF. So 4 questions can be asked. These are the 4 basic problem category that can be asked, and then there can be, this question can be asked in combination of other questions. So let us see how JEE has explored this idea. In this 2023 question, they are asking the foot of perpendicular of this point on this line. Okay, so let us draw a small diagram. So they have given the line, they have given the point 2, 0, 5. The line's equation is nothing but, we don't know, this is F, and they have given this is nothing but alpha, beta, gamma. What they are saying is basically which of the following is not correct. So fundamentally what they are asking is you find the foot of perpendicular and then tell us how to proceed. So the standard technique of solving this question is, in step 1 you are going to equate this to gamma, the equation of line. From here the value of x will be nothing but 2r minus 1, to gamma minus 1 you can also write. Y would be nothing but 5r plus 1, and z would be nothing but minus r minus 1. Once you have got this, the next step is basically, this point is clear to us. So this is nothing but by alpha, beta and gamma. This is what is given to us. Now if I want to solve it further, what we will say is, see, if I find the direction ratios of this line PF, it is going to be perpendicular to the line. So let us first find direction ratios. So what I will do is, it is alpha minus 2, or from this I will subtract 2. So this will become 2r minus 3. If I take beta, or nothing but 5r plus 1 and subtract 0, I will get my another point. And if I take the third one, minus r minus 1 and subtract 5, I should get my third. So r minus 6. This is what we are getting. Once you have got this, the next point should be to apply condition of perpendicularity. So now what we can say is direction ratio of this and the line. So direction ratios of line should be very careful. When we are doing this, the coefficient of x, y, z should be equal to 1, and this idea has been utilized by JEE a number of times. Once you have observed that, the direction cosines, direction ratios of the line are nothing but 2, 5, minus 1. So 2, 5, minus 1. What we will do is we will take a dot product of this and equate it to 0. If I do so, let us see what do I get. So this will comes 2 times 2r minus 3 plus 5 times 5r plus 1 and minus 1 times minus r minus 6. This should be equal to 0. So once you solve, we will be able to get the value of r. From r, we will be able to get the value of alpha, beta, gamma, and hence we are done with the question. So let us do so. So if I do this, becomes 4. This will become 25 and this will become 1. Let us write it down. into r, the remaining part would be nothing but minus 6 plus 5 plus 6 is equal to 0. So this becomes nothing but 30. So 30r is equal to minus 5. R becomes minus 1 by 6. We have got the value of r. So once you have got the value of r, now let us come back to the question. The points were nothing but, so your alpha will come out to be nothing but 2 times minus 1 by 6 minus 1. Beta will become nothing but 5 times minus 1 by 6 plus 1. And gamma will come out to be nothing but minus times minus 1 by 6 minus 1. Now we can see that we can simplify this and check the option. So it is a very straightforward question. Now if I look into this 2019 question, the length of the perpendicular from this point on the straight line, this they are asking. So there is no formula for this. You will always have to repeat the same process. So now what will you do? First we will find the foot. Once we have got the foot, we will apply distance formula to get the answer. So these are the two steps that we are going to use and solve this question. So now in order to get the point, let us start with the same idea. Let us take a point on the line. So this is nothing but 2 comma minus 1 comma 4. We want this point f. So this general point f can be written by equating it to r. So that becomes 10r minus 3. If I equate this to r, becomes minus 7r plus 2. And if I equate the third point, it is nothing but r. Then what we are going to do in the next step is to find the direction ratios. So that becomes 10r minus 5 minus 7r plus 3 and then r minus 4. So we have got the direction ratios as well. Third, we are going to take a dot product. So 10 into 10 r minus 5 plus minus 7 into minus 7r plus 3 and then r minus 4 into. So you can see that, and this should be very carefully observed. X, Y, Z coefficient should be equal to 1, otherwise this does not, the direction ratios of the line won't be correct. Now once you've got this, we will get the value of r. So this becomes 100 plus 100 will come from here, 49 will come from here, and then 1 will come from there into r plus, here if I do calculation, it becomes minus 50 minus 21 minus 4. This should be equal to 0. If I do this, I will be able to get the value of r. So what we are getting here is nothing but 150r. And if I simplify this, it is equal to nothing but minus 75. So the value of r comes out to be 1 by 2. See, once you have got the value of r, in the fourth step, you have got the point. The point will become nothing but, if I put the f will come out to be nothing but 1 by 2. If I put, it comes out to be nothing but 5 minus 3 minus 7 by 2 plus 2 and then nothing but 1 by 2. If I simplify this, this is 2, this will become nothing but minus 3 by 2 and this is 1 by 2. After that, in the fifth step, we'll have to apply the distance formula to get the distance of the point. If I apply distance formula, it is nothing but 0 will happen. Then it will be nothing but 1 by 2 ka whole square will happen. And then 4 minus 0.5, 3.5, so 7 by 2 ka whole square will happen. We can calculate the answer now. So you can see that this becomes nothing but root of 1 plus 49. So the answer of this question is nothing but root of 50 by 2. So you can see that what will be this value? This will be 7 point something divided by 2 to 3 point something. So 3 point something would be greater than 3 but less than 4. So option A should match, and that is the answer to this question. You can see that there is a step-by-step process. Now in this question only, if somebody is asking you to find the image, I will apply section formula. Now let us go into those questions also. Now again, what they are saying in this question is distance of this point from the line passing through this point and parallel to this direction ratio is equal to. You can see that this is the same question. Earlier they used to give us a point that they have given to us as well. They used to give us the equation of line, but this is not given. Instead of this, they have told that this line passes through a point minus 3, 2, 3 and is parallel to the direction ratios are given. So DRs are given as nothing but 3, 3, minus 1. So now you will have to write the equation of line. So one step extra you will have to do. So x plus 3 by 3, y minus 2 by 3 and z minus 3 by minus 1. You can see that now after this the process remains same. We will do the same 4 steps and come up with an answer. If I look into this 2019 question, the distance of this point having position vector from the straight line passing, it is a similar question written in vector form. So if I translate it, this point is given as minus 1, 2, 6. Now this equation of the line can now be written as this is the point, this is the parallel vector. So x minus 2, y minus 3, z plus 4. So from the numerator will come from here, the denominator will come from here. So this will be 6, 3 minus 4. All we will have to do is basically, now this is the same 4-step process that you can solve and get the answer. If I move forward, this 2022 question, the length of the perpendicular drawn from this point on this line is 2 root 6. Q is the image of the point in this line. Then they have asked some other question. You can see that from this 2022 question, there is a tail to the question that we are trying to solve earlier. Earlier question was straightforward. Now there is a tail to that question. So the length of the perpendicular drawn from this point. So now the first point is A4, 2. They have not told us, they have just told us that A is greater than 0. That's it. On this line is nothing but 2 root 6. So they have given this perpendicular distance. Now line equation also is given in the question. So other things are fine. This equation also they have given. So if they have given this information, what do you think should be the purpose of this information? What do you think should be the purpose? So if you carefully think, the purpose of this information would be to get the value of A, because if I know the value of A, it will be very easy to get the foot, and from there I can get the image. And then after the image, basically they have done something, that is nothing but they have wrote this as A plus alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. This they are asking. So there is a step-by-step process. So what we are going to do first. So in the first step, we are going to consider this point F. So F, if I equate this to R, will become nothing but 2R minus 1, 3R plus 3 and minus R plus 1. You can have got this point. In the next step, we are going to find the dr of PF. So PF ki dr, PF drs if I find, let us see what do we get. So PF ki dr would be nothing but, if I subtract A from it, so 2R minus 1 minus A will come. Then you can see that 3R minus 1 will happen, and from R plus 1 if I subtract this point, it becomes minus R minus 1. This we have got. Now once you have got this, the next step, third step is to take the dot product. So if I take the dot product, that is nothing but 2 times 2R minus A plus 3 times 3R minus 1 and plus minus 1 times minus R minus 1. So we have taken the dot product of the direction cosines of the line as well as the PF. Now when we equate this to 0, we will be able to get the value of R. Once you have got the value of R, in the step 4, since we will apply the distance formula, find the value of PF, and you can see that it is given in the question as nothing but 2 root 6. If I do this from here, I will be able to get the value of A. Once I have got the value of A, in the fifth step, I will get the value of F or the foot of perpendicular. Now since let us say that this point is known, this is known, so you can see that this is bisected by I. So using this, you can see that using this I will be able to get, using section formula, I will be able to get the value of I. Once you have got the value of I, you will get A1, A2, A3. And once you have got this, you can write the answer. So you can see that using these 6 steps, you can easily solve this question. Now let us look into this 2019 question. This 2019 question talks about a triangle ABC. So you can see that triangle ABC is given to us, something like this. And what is given is the vertices B and C lie on this line. So the equation of this line is given to us, such that BC is equal to 5. This is also given. as 5. Then the area of the triangle, if the point A is nothing but 1 comma minus 1 comma 2. You can see that this is an interesting question, and there are multiple variations of such questions getting asked in last few years. So let us see how to do this question. So if you want to do this question, area is nothing but half of base, that is BC, into height. Now you can see that height would be nothing but the perpendicular distance from this line. So this would give us the answer. So now you can see that if you want to this, you will have to find or D, H or D. Now we know we can find this D by our 4-step process. We have done that in multiple questions. So once we can do that, we'll put that value here and get the value of area. Now if I look into this next 2023 question, it talks about coordinates of one of the vertices of the triangle ABC. So they have given the coordinate of the vertices A, that is 0, 2, alpha. This is given to us. The other two vertices lie on the line. It is the same kind of question. And the equation of the line is again given to us. And you can see that again alpha is getting involved here as well. They have given that alpha is nothing but Z. Now earlier they had asked the area. In this question they have given the area. Area of the triangle is 21 square units. The line segment BC has length of 2√2. This is now this much information is given, and what they want is value of alpha square. So you can see that everything is set. If I write the area of triangle as half of BC into D. Now if I want to do this question, you can see that before doing anything, they have given the value of delta as 21. This is 1 by 2. BC is nothing but 2√21. So from this information that is given to us, this will get cancelled out. D comes out to be root of 21. So you can see that earlier they were asking the value of D. Now the value of D is given and alpha there they are asking. So again what we can do is, see from, if I know this distance is D and this is given to us. So what we are going to do is, we are going to again involve our 4-step process. Get the value from D from there and equate it to √21. If I do so, I will be able to get the value of alpha, and from there I can get the value of alpha. Now let us look into this 2024 question. The question says that consider the line passing through the points these two. So let us draw the line. Now they are saying this line passes through point 1, 2, 3, and the another point is nothing but 2, 3, 5. So these 2 points are given to you. Distance of this point, that is 11 by 3, 11 by 3, 19 by 3. What is the distance from this along the line? Now see, what they are saying is you find the distance but along the line. This along this vector. So what they are saying is along the line would mean you need to borrow direction ratios from here. 2, 1, 2. So this is given to us. So what we need to find is, earlier we were finding this perpendicular distance D. Now they want us to find this slant height L. This is what they want. So there are 2 approaches to solving this question. First approach is, let us write the equation of line. So what we are going to do is, one line is given. Let us consider this point as nothing but P. What we will do is, we will write the equation of this line PC. So for writing equation of PC, we already have this one point. So x minus 11 by 3, and direction ratios will take from here by 2. Y minus 11 by 3 by 1, and z minus 19 by 3 by 2. So you can see that we have written the equation of the line. If I equate it to R, a general point on this line would be nothing but 2R minus 11 by 3 plus 11 by 3, R plus 11 by 3, and 2R plus 19 by 3. So what we have got is a point on the line. This point is nothing but the point C. Now in the next step what we can do is, they have given us 2 points. Using these 2 points, I can write the equation of this line. So 2-point form of a line is, x minus x1 by x2 minus x1, y minus y1 by y2 minus y1, and z minus z1 by z2 minus z1. See how we can do that, because if I subtract the points, I will be able to get the direction ratios, and since you have point, that will come in the numerator. So if I write the equation of this line, it would be nothing but x minus 1 by 2 minus 1 will become 1, y minus 2 by nothing but 3 minus 2, that will also be 1, and z minus 3 by 5 minus 3, that will be equal to 2. So this is what we have got. Now in the fourth step, what we can do is basically, I can substitute these points in this line, because you can see that on this line this point C also lies. So what we are going to do is, we are going to do substitution. So by doing substitution, let us see what do we get. If I substitute, I am only taking one part, y minus 2y1. I have only taken this part and substituted the value. So this will become 2r plus 11 by 3 minus 1, and y is nothing but r plus 11 by 3 minus 2. So from simplification, I will be able to get the value of r. Let us see what happens. So this, if I substitute, r comes out to be nothing but minus 1. You can see that r value we have figured out. Once we have figured out the value of r, now in the fifth step, I will be able to get the value of C. So my C point becomes nothing but minus 2 plus 11 by 3 minus 1 plus 11 by 3 and minus 2 plus 19 by 3. See, once you have got the point C and what they are asking is PC, I can apply distance formula. So now you can apply distance formula and get the final answer. Now if I look into this 2024 question, it can be solved using the exact same steps that we did in the last question. Question says that you have to find the distance of a point 7, minus 2, 11. This is the point P. From the line, the equation of the line is also given to us. Along a line. So it is along a line that they are saying, let us take the direction ratios of this. So you can see that the direction ratios of this line will become 2 minus 3, 6. So what we are going to do is, the first step, we are going to write the equation of the line PC. So equation of PC would be nothing but x minus 7 by 2, y plus 2 by minus 3 and z minus 11 by 6. So now you can see that we have got the equation of the line PC. In the next step, we are going to write the general coordinate for C. That will be nothing but 2r plus 7 minus 3r minus 2 and 6r plus 11. And now in the third step, we are going to satisfy this C coordinate in the equation of the line that is given to us. We will satisfy it in this line. So satisfy in this line. As a result, we will be able to get the value of C. Once you have got the value of C in the fourth point, we will apply distance formula and get the value of PC. Using these 4 simple steps, we will be able to solve this question. Moving forward, there is this again 2024 question that says that the image of this point in this line we need to find. So see, image questions are exactly same as foot question. As a last step, we need to apply section formula to get to the answer. Now let us do this one question, then repetitive questions we will do in the similar manner. So again, if the equation of line is given, point is 8, 5, 7. We will take this foot of the perpendicular. So this point would be nothing but 2r. So from this line we are obtaining a general point. So 2r plus 1, 3r minus 1 and 5r plus 2. So this is a point F Now if I join this vector will be perpendicular to this vector. So this was my first step. In the next step, let us apply the condition of perpendicularity by finding dr. If I find the dr of line PF, the dr of PF would be nothing but, if I subtract these coordinates, it will become 2r minus 7. The next will become 3r minus 6. And the next step would be 5r minus 5. So we have got the drs. In the next step, in the third step, we are going to take the dot product and make it 0. So if I multiply with this 2, so 2 times 2r minus 7 plus 3 times 3r minus 6 plus 5 times 5r minus 5 should be equal to 0. Let us simplify. So this becomes 4r minus 14. This is 9r minus 18. This will become 25r minus 25 is equal to 0. So now we can see that 4r, 13r, 25r. So 25 plus 9 is 34. 34 plus 4 is 38r. Then this part will become 18 plus 14. This will be equal to nothing but 28, 32. 32 plus 20, 52, 57. So minus 57 is equal to 0. So the value of r comes out to be nothing but 57 by 38. So once you have got the value of r, now we have got the point f. The fourth step is to find the point f. So the f point comes out to be nothing but 2 into 57 by 38 plus 1. Then 3 times 57 by 38 minus 1, and ultimately 5 into 57 by 38 minus 2. So you can see that we have figured out the point f. The fifth step, now you can see that you have this point that is nothing but p. This is f that we have all, and then this is nothing but I, that is nothing but image. So you can see that this is nothing but the midpoint. If I take this point as alpha, beta, gamma, we have got the value of p point as nothing but 857. I can also get the value of f using section formula. So from section formula it becomes alpha plus 8 by 2, beta plus 7 by 2, and gamma beta plus 5 by 2. And gamma plus 7 by 2. So you can see that we have figured out the point f. Now we can compare and get the value of alpha, beta, gamma. So it is a 5-step process. 4 step you are already taking earlier, but 5th step now is to apply section formula and get the value of I. That's to solve this question. Now this next 2024 question is a very interesting question. This question talks about a point R that is 1, 2, 3, and says that from the line that is given to us, this line, there are 2 points P and Q on this line in such a way that both are at a distance of 6 units. So you can clearly see that what we are going to get is nothing but a triangle like this. Now in order to solve this question, let us assume a general point on this line. So general point on this line would be nothing but 8r minus 3, 2r plus 4, and 2r minus 1. You can see that I have begun a general point. Let us say it could be either of the points. So what now they are saying is the distance from between these two is nothing but equal to 6. So let us apply distance formula. So root of 8r minus 4 ka whole square. So this is my first step, into 2r plus 2 whole square plus 2r minus 4 whole square. This is equal to 6. You can see that when we will solve this, we will get a quadratic equation. Hence 2 values of r, hence 2 points. So this is important to know. So once we have done this, now before doing anything, let us take 2 common from everywhere. So the calculation becomes simpler. So this becomes 4r minus 2 whole square plus r plus 1 whole square plus r minus 2 whole square, and let us also cancel 2 from there, so this also becomes 3. If I square it up, then what we are getting is 16r square minus 8 into 2, that would be again nothing but 16r plus 4 plus r square plus 2r plus 1 plus r square minus 4r plus 4 is equal to 9. Once we have done this, you can see that this 16r square will become nothing but 18r square. This minus 16r plus 2r minus 4r will become nothing but minus 18r again. And what is remaining is this 4, this 1, 5, and this again, this will become 9. So this is equal to again 9. So you can see that we are getting r square minus 1, r square minus r is equal to 0. So two values of r is equal to 0 and 1. Once you have got these two values, it has become extremely easy now. In the next step, we are going to find the point P. If I want to find the point P, let us put r is equal to 0. So this becomes minus 3, 4 and minus 1. And if I want to find the point Q, let us put 1. So 8 minus 3 is nothing but 5. This will become nothing but 6, and the last point will become nothing but 1. Now you can see that you have got all the important points. If I want to find the centroid, so this is my step 2. In the step 3, centroid alpha will become nothing but sum of all the x coordinates divided by 3. So 1, so it is nothing but x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3. Beta would be nothing but y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3, and gamma would be nothing but z1 plus z2 plus z3 by 3. So you can see that once you have got these points, we will be able to get the value of alpha, beta, gamma, and hence find the answer. So you can see that interesting questions can be found by combining ideas of coordinate geometry. And if I look into this, now this 2024 question is quite straightforward. They have given the mirror image of this point in the line as alpha, beta, gamma, and figure out. Now this we have done like hundreds of times now. If I look into this 2024 question, again what they are saying is alpha, beta, gamma be the mirror image of this point in this line. Similar kind of question, again a very simple question, you can do it extremely fast. This 2024 question says alpha, beta, gamma foot of the perpendicular from this point on this line. Now we have done this multiple times. So this can be done again very fast, there is nothing new in this question. If I look into this 2024 question, this says that the square of the distance of the image of this point in this line from origin. So fundamentally, first we want to find the image, and once you have found the image, find its distance from origin. So there are two simple steps. Now we have already seen how to find this image using a 5-step process. Apply that 5-step process, find the distance and get the answer. Again a very simple question. This 2024 question says that if alpha, beta, gamma be the image of this point in this line. So what we can say is, again this image based question is asked. Image we have seen, we have a 5-step process into place to find the image. Now this 2024 question says the image of this point in this line be alpha, beta, gamma. So the first point is finding image only. So first we will do the image part, and once we have done the image part, we will have got the value of alpha, beta and gamma. So this is sorted. Then which one of the following points lies on the line passing through alpha, beta, gamma and making these angles with the y and z axis. So in the second part, what they are saying is which of the following points lie on the line. So for that we will have to write equation of line. Now for finding equation of line, we require a point and a vector parallel to the line. The point they have given is alpha, beta, gamma only, so this will be supplied from the first part. But the vector parallel, for this they have given us the cosine, we will find the cosine. So L we don't know, but M is given as nothing but cos 2 pi by 3. That is nothing but minus 1 by 2, and N is also given as nothing but cos of 3 pi by 4. That is nothing but minus 1 by root 2. So L we can figure out by applying L square plus M square plus N square. So this is combining the first problem type. So L as a result would be nothing but, this would be nothing but 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 equal to 1. So the value of L square comes out to be 1 by 4. So from here L comes out to be plus minus 1 by 2. You can see that we have figured out the value of L. And acute angle with x-axis is also given. So I can only consider one value, that is L is equal to 1 by 2. So you have got the direction cosines also, or a vector parallel also. That would be nothing but, the direction ratios of that would be nothing but 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by root 2. See, now we have got all the information. We'll write the equation of line. In the step 3, we'll satisfy the option and check. So in these 3 steps, we can solve the question. Now let us look into this 2024 question. Question says that P be the point. The P point is given to us. Q be the foot of the perpendicular drawn from 1, 7, 6 on the line passing through these 2 points. Length of the line segment PQ. So you can see that there are 2 parts of the question. The first part says that if you have a point R, that is 1, 7, 6. Now what they are saying is Q is nothing but the foot of the perpendicular. So this is nothing but Q. The equation of this line can be figured out using these 2 points, using 2-point form. So x minus x1 by x2 minus x1, y minus y1 by y2 minus y1, and z minus z1 by z2 minus z1. So if you do this, what we will get is nothing but x minus 2 by minus 6 minus 2, y plus 5 by 7 plus 5, and z minus 11 by minus 5 minus 11. So you have got the equation of line. We have a 4-step process into place. Using 4 steps, we will be able to get the value of Q. Once you have got the value of Q, in the second part, what they are saying is find the value of PQ. So P is also there, Q is also there. We can apply distance formula and get the answer. So you can see that questions that are getting asked are very incremental in nature. Find the foot, then do something. Find the image, then do something. Now if I look into this 2024 question says that consider a line passing through these 2 points. Let us consider the line 1, 2, 1. This is point P. Another point is given as Q, that is nothing but 2, 1, minus 1. Now a point is given as A as nothing but 2, 2. And they are saying the image of this point is nothing but alpha, beta, gamma. You can see that this is a direct image based question. Image based question requires 5 steps to be solved. So apply those 5 steps and get the answer. There is nothing new. Only thing new that you can consider is equation of line is not given. So you can write the equation of line using 2-point form. The equation of line will become x minus 1 by 2 minus 1, y minus 2 by 1 minus 2, and z minus 1 by 1 minus 1 minus 1. If you do these steps, you can easily be able to get the answer. Now let us look into this next 2024 question. Question says that Q and R be the feet of the perpendicular from a point A, A. So there is a point P, A. This is given to us. And from that they are trying to put the feet of the perpendicular on 2 lines. So let us take that first line. And this point would be nothing but point Q. So the equation of this line, now we can say is given as nothing but x equal to y and z equal to 1. So we can write this in a more systematic manner. X minus 0 by 1, y minus 0 by 1, and this can be written as nothing but z minus 1 by 0. Sometimes students have problem imagining this. Once you have got, what we can do is again we will follow the same process. We will follow a general point on the line. If I equate it to r, it will be r, 1. This is a general point on the line. So this point we have got is nothing but r comma 1. This is my point Q. Once I have got the point, I will write the drs of PQ. So that will become A minus R and A minus 1. So these are nothing but the drs. So what we have figured out is nothing but the dr. In the next step, what we will do is we will go and take the dot product. So 1 into A minus R plus 1 into A minus R plus 0 is equal to 0. You can see that the value of A comes out to be R. So this point that we are saying is r comma 1 actually becomes A comma 1. Now let us try. So this is the first part. They want us to do this process 2 times. So in the second part, what they are saying is the point remains same. The line changes. Now the second line is nothing but x is equal to minus y. So x by 1 is equal to y by minus 1. And the third point can be written as z plus 1 by 0. So this becomes equation of the line now. So if I take this line, a general point on this line or this point that is given as r would be nothing but r comma minus 1. This is the point. If I equate it to r, I will be able to get this general point. Once we have got this point, the next step should be to find the dr of PR. That now will become nothing but A minus R, A plus R and A plus 1. So we have got the dr. Now we are going to take the dot product in the next step. So if I take the dot product, let us see what do we get. So what will happen is it will be A minus R minus A plus R plus 0 is equal to 0. And if I simplify this, R comes out to be 0. So you can see that this point that we have written here is 0 comma 0 comma minus 1. Now comes the third part of the question when they are talking about the angle. Now the question says that angle QPR is nothing but right angle. So let us write QPR. This is Q, this is P and this is P and this is R. So Q came out to be nothing but A comma 1. This is nothing but A comma A. And this point is nothing but 0 comma 0 comma minus 1. So if I find the direction ratios of this line, that is PQ, it will be nothing but 0 comma 0 comma A minus 1. If I find this for this line, it would be nothing but A comma A plus 1. Now the dot product of these two should be equal to 0. So let us take the dot product. So that will become 0 plus A square minus 1 is equal to 0. So from here the value of A square becomes 1. So you can see that A square is equal to 1. What they are asking is the value of 12 A square. So answer to this question becomes 12. So there are 3 parts. The 2 parts are repetitive. We have done this multiple times. And one last part, that is nothing but condition of orthogonality. If I move towards this next 2024 question, the question says that let the point on the line passing through these 2 points farther from the origin. Now let us draw this. So they have given these 2 points, P is given, Q is given. And this point is 1 comma minus 2 comma 3. And this Q point is given as 5 comma minus 4 comma 7. Now these 2 are given. So using this, let us write the equation of the line. So x minus 1 by 5 minus 1, y plus 2 by minus 4 plus 2, and ultimately z minus 3 by 7 minus 3. So equation of line comes out to be x minus 1 by 4, y plus 2 by minus 2 and z minus 3 by 4. So this is the equation of line that we are getting. Now what they are saying is, if I take a general point on this line, let us say that this is the general point. It is at a distance 9 units. At a 9 units distance, there is a point alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha, beta, gamma. So this is given to us. Now once that is given to us, this point could be 2. So there can be 2 locations, one in this side and one on 9 units on the other side. So there are 2 cases possible. They are saying that you give me the one which is farther from the origin, away from the origin. So this was my first step. Now let us do the second step. So let us write a general point on the line. It is nothing but 4r plus 1. The next point would be nothing but minus 2r minus 2. And the next is nothing but 4r plus 3. So this is nothing but a general point. Now the distance of this from P, so let us say that this is the point that they are asking. So the distance from P, let us say that this point is nothing but R. So PR, if I find, this will become root of 4r whole square plus minus 2r whole square plus 4r whole square, and this is given as nothing but 9. If I simplify this, let us see what do we get. So if I take nothing but 2r out, there would be a mod, and this will become nothing but root of 2 square plus 1 plus 2 square is equal to 9. So you can see that this will cancel out, and r is nothing but plus minus 1 by 2. Now corresponding to this, you will get two values of the point. If I take r is equal to 1 by 2, one value we can get. So that would be nothing but 2 plus 1 3, and then minus 1 minus 2 minus 3, and then 2 plus 3 5. So this is one value of the point that we are getting. And if you use r is equal to minus 1 by 2, let us see, substitute and see. So minus 1 by 2 will mean minus 2 plus 1 minus 1. This will become 1 minus 2 minus 1. And the last will become minus 2 plus 3 1. Now what they are saying is the one that is farther from the origin. So you can see that from the nature of the points, this will be the farther from the origin. If you can't see, apply distance formula. So once you have seen this, now what they are saying is find the value of alpha square plus beta square plus gamma square. Now that can be easily done and answer can be figured out. So if you just, this is your alpha beta gamma, square and add, you might be able to get the answer. The next question, that is nothing but this 2024 question. This says that a line passes to these 2 points. So let us draw a line passing to these 2 points. So this is A, and you need to keep writing information while you read the question, because after that it becomes too complicated to reconnect things. 16 comma minus 2 comma 4. So what they are saying is P is on this line. If I extend this line, there is some point P here, A comma B comma C, in such a manner that it is 21 units from point A. So this distance is 21 units. The distance between P, that is this point, and this Q is. You can see that this is exactly the same question like we did the same previous question. We will write equation of line. We will take a general point. Once I have done that, in the third part I am going to apply distance formula. And once we have got the value of P, there will be two values. Out of this, based on the condition, we will take one value. And in the last part, we will apply distance formula. So this is exactly as the previous question. You can do this 5 steps and get the answer of this question. Now type 4 problem is nothing but problems based on parallel lines. Now when we are dealing with parallel lines, what is important is, if the line is given in this form, then this direction ratios can be borrowed. So you can see that a line parallel to that will have denominator same, and if I am dealing with it in the vector form, you can see that this part would be same. Another important concept related with this idea is nothing but the idea of shortest distance. So if there are two parallel lines like this, and one is nothing but A vector, another point on another line is nothing but B vector, then the shortest distance would be this distance. If I want to calculate this, I will join these two vectors, and if the angle between this is nothing but theta, then what we can do is basically this L and this is D. So sine theta would be nothing but D by L. So D is nothing but L sine theta. You can see that using this basic idea, where L can be found using the distance between A and B. So A vector minus B vector का mod. And sin theta can be found by taking the cross product of these two vectors. So A vector minus B vector cross P vector that was given to me. If I take a mod of these two vectors, I should be able to get nothing but the value of sin theta. So this is the formula, and this formula is written here as well to calculate the shortest distance. We'll apply this formula directly to get the answer. Now this 2024 question is a very interesting question. It talks about a line that is parallel to another line. The equation of this parallel line is given to us. This is given to us x by 2 by 3, y minus 1 by 1 and z minus 2 by 2. One more thing is given to us, that this line also intersects two more lines. So one line and another line. So now this line, this blue line is also given in the question. This line is represented by what is written here. So it can be written as, and as I told you earlier, remember that when you are writing an equation of a line, make sure that the coefficient of y is equal to 1. This will help you get rid of a lot of calculation mistake. Now if I multiply by 2 in the denominator, this becomes 1, this becomes 1 and z plus 1 by 2. This is what we are getting. So this is one line. And then there is another line that they have given that I can also write. So this line is nothing but x minus 2 by 1, y by minus 1 and z minus 1 by 1. So you can see that now this is the question. So now what we are going to approach this question, we are going to first figure out this point, that is the intersection of the original line and the blue line. So if I try and figure this point, you can see that I can equate this to n. So this point can be written as nothing but n minus 1, n plus 1 and 2n minus 1. So you can see that this is the point B. So B we have figured out. Similarly, we'll figure out the point A, that is this point that lies on the intersection of black line and red line. So if you figure out this point, this would be nothing but we can equate this to m. Will come out to be m plus 2, then minus m, and ultimately m plus 1. You can see that once you have figured out this AB, then the direction ratio of this AB, this should be proportional to the parallel line. So this is nothing but what parallel condition is. So in the step 1 we have figured out B point, then A point. In the step 3 we will find the dr of AB. If I figure this out, it would be nothing but m minus n plus 3. Then if I subtract these two, it will become minus m minus n minus 1. And then if I subtract these two, it is nothing but m minus 2n plus 2. So you have got the direction ratio of AB. Now what we can say, since the line are parallel, the direction ratios are also going to be proportional. So in the step 4, now I can write m minus n plus 3 by 3. This should be equal to minus m minus n minus 1 by 1. And then at last m minus 2n plus 2 by 2. So this should be equal. Now if I take any two of these equations and solve, let us take these two and then these two and simplify. So if I simplify the first two, I get an equation in two variable. It becomes minus 3m minus 3n minus 1. If I simplify, this becomes 4m plus 2n plus 4 is equal to 0. In other words, this is 2m plus n plus 2 is equal to 0. Another I can get by equating the other two equations. So that becomes nothing but minus m minus n minus 1. This is equal to nothing but times 2 would be equal to m minus 2n plus 2. So this comes out to be minus 2m minus 2n minus 2, and the or can be written as m minus 2n, this is n, plus 2. So again, if simplified, minus 3m, this minus 2n will get cancelled out, and what we are left with is nothing but 4. So m comes out to be minus 4 by 3. See, once you have figured out the value of m, now what we can do is, using this we can get this point A. After this, once we have solved this, we will be able to get point A from here. Once we are able to get point A, we already know the direction ratios. We will be able to get the equation of line. So it is a very interesting question. They need to do 2 more steps to get to an answer. Now satisfy the points and check which of them are satisfying the equation of line. If I look into this next 2024 question, says that what is the shortest distance between these two lines. So before writing the shortest distance, make sure that the direction ratios are proportional. So x minus lambda by 2 would be equal to y minus 4 by 3, z minus 3 by 4. And this another line you can see is also given as x minus 2 by 2, y minus 4 by 3, and z minus 7 by 4. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. These are parallel lines. And once you have observed parallel lines, now what they are saying is the shortest distance they have given, find the value of lambda. So for shortest distance, there is a formula. The formula is p vector cross b vector minus a vector ka mod divided by p vector ka mod. This is the formula, and this value is given as 13 by root 29. So all you need to do is put values in this formula. Now let me write all the required quantities. So p vector is nothing but 2i cap, 3j cap plus 4k cap. What is written here in the denominator? And b vector is nothing but what is written in the numerator. So now you can consider this is lambda comma 4 comma 3. This is 1 point. And the another point is nothing but 2 comma 4 comma 7. So a vector can be written as 2 comma 4 comma 7. If I put the values, you will be able to get the value of lambda. So this is a simpler question, directly formula based question. Now let us look into this next type of problem, that is type 5 based on skew lines. Now what happens is, in 3D the lines can be of multiple types. There are parallel lines, there are intersecting lines, there are coincident lines, but there can be also skew lines, like two planes crossing over each other. Now whenever the skew lines will get generated, we will have a very important concept of shortest distance. So if the two planes are flying over each other, you can see that there will be a point when they will be just above each other. So this point when they are over each other, this point, at this point, you can see that the perpendicular distance will make 90-degree angle with both the lines, and this PQ will be known as nothing but shortest distance. Now what is the trick to find this shortest distance? So we have a formula into place. This formula says that if the equation of the first line is, second line is this, then what we are going to do is projection of this a vector minus b vector. So let us say that this is a vector and this is b vector. So what we are doing is we are taking the projection of this vector on the line that is perpendicular to both the vectors. So let us say that this is a line that is perpendicular. Now the line perpendicular to both the vectors can be written using cross products of p and q. So this we can write using p vector cross q vector. And then what we want is projection of this over that vector. So what we have is nothing but b vector minus a vector dot p vector cross q vector divide by p vector cross q vector command. So direct projection we have used to find the answer. Now let us see what kind of questions are asked. So the 2024 direct question has been asked on this idea. They have given the equation of the line, and equations of the line are also very clean. What they want us to find the shortest distance. So directly I will apply the formula b vector minus a vector dot p vector cross q vector divide by p vector cross q vector command. Directly I will do this and get an answer. Now let us see how to move forward. So what I can do is, here the value of b vector can be considered as nothing but 3 from here, 3 I cap minus 15 j cap and plus 9 k cap. This can be considered. The A vector can be considered as nothing but from here minus I cap plus j cap and plus 9 k cap. This can be considered. Now if I want to find B vector minus A vector, it is quite simple. I will subtract both of these. So it becomes 4I cap minus 16j cap plus 0 k cap. This is what we have got. So once you have got this, B vector minus A vector is clear, we can substitute the value. Second is P vector cross. So P vector can be considered as nothing but the vector that is written here. We can also consider the other way around, it does not make any difference. So 2I cap minus 7j cap plus 5k cap, and then we have Q vector as nothing but 2I cap plus j cap minus 3k cap. So you can see that now very important to write the values accurately, otherwise right answer will not come. So first let us find the numerator part. If I want to get the numerator part, it is nothing but a box product. So box product can be figured out using determinant. So B vector minus A vector first will write. So it is 4 minus 16 0. This will become 2 minus 7 5 and then nothing but 2 1 and minus 3. Right. So this we will find and get the answer, and obviously there is a modulus of this, so it does not matter what you take first and second. If I expand along the first row, I should get my answer. So 4 times 7 into 3 is nothing but 21 minus 5. Then plus 16 into minus 6 minus 10 and then 0. So the answer of this part becomes nothing but, if you subtract, so this is 4 into 16, that would be nothing but 24, and 16 into minus 16. So you can see that 16 we can take common. So it is 4 minus 16, that is nothing but 12. So this is minus 12 into 16. So this is what we are getting. Since there is a mod, it will not make a difference. P vector cross Q vector, next we can find using again. So this was my first step to write all the values. In the second I have applied this, and in the third now I will find the value of P vector cross Q vector. So if I want this, this can be figured out using I, J, K, and this is nothing but 2 minus 7 5, and this is 2 1 minus 3. So I can directly figure out this value from here, substitute all the values here and get the answer. Now we can see that this is such a famous question that again it has been asked in 24. Line ka format they have changed a little bit, so you need to extract the lines out of it. So the line will become x minus 2 by 1, y minus 1 by minus 3, z minus 3 by 4. And another line that is written can be extracted as nothing but x minus 2 by 2, y minus 3 by 3, and z minus 5 by 1. Once you have got the line, check my calculation. Once you have got the line, you can easily find, apply the formula and get the answer. Again, this question has been asked in 24. Again, they have asked this question. And you can see that this was consistent theme in 2023 also. So this is a very famous question. Again 2020 also. And then same question is again in 23 also. You can see that consistently they are asking this question. Again 2022. Again 23. Again the same question has been asked in 2023. So multiple times they have asked the same question. And I am just flipping over the pages to show you that how much repetition of the same question is there. Now here they have improvised the question a little bit. One line they have given, other line they have given 2 points on the line. So you can get the equation of the line using 2-point form. So this is very easy. You can get the equation of line using 2-point form. And if we can get that, we have got this line also, another line they have given, we can find the shortest distance. It is not very tough. Now, What they have given is basically they have again given two lines, but written the lines in a little bit weirder form. So we need to simplify the lines first. So this can be written as x plus 1 by 1. This can be written as y by 1 by 2. This can be written z by minus 1 by 12. So if I multiply by 12 in the denominator, this will become 12 y by 6 and z by minus 1. So one line you have got. Similarly, another line we will find by solving these equations. So you can see that there is a z given here. So let us separate it out. So if I take the second equation, I can write the equation as nothing but y plus z. It will be equal to nothing but 6z minus 6. So y is nothing but 5z minus 6. This is what we have as nothing but y. And so now here we can write this as nothing but y plus 6 by 5 is equal to z. This is crucial. And from the next part, if I take the first and the last part, x is equal to 6 minus z by 6, 6z minus 6. You can see that it can be written as x plus 6 by 6 is equal to z. Once you have done this, using these two, you can write the another equation. So it comes out to be x plus 6 by 6 is equal to y plus 6 by 5 is equal to z. Check my calculation once. So you can see that you have got both the equations. Now you can apply the formula and get the answer. Again, moving forward, what they have done is basically again shortest distance. So now they have flipped the question. They have given the shortest distance. They want you to find the value of lambda. Again, you have to apply formula. But instead of finding the shortest distance, in the same formula, we will get the value of lambda. So this is also a very simple question. If I move forward, this 2024 question, again similar question they have framed. There is nothing new in this question. And consistently they have framed this question again and again. And now they have just put a modulus and made it look more cool. But fundamentally the question remains same. Again they have made the same question. You can see that consistently they have framed the same question. Now if you move towards this question, this foot of the perpendicular from this point on this line is 357, then the shortest distance between L1 and the line L2. So what you can see is basically, now again they have asked the shortest distance only, that is quite clear, and you can see that one line is very clear, L2 is very clearly given to you. Problem is with the L1. In L1 this A is involved, that we don't know, and this B is also involved, that we don't know. Okay, so but for finding that, they have given us the foot of the perpendicular. So let us figure out the equation of line. After that, there is a direct formula application to get to an answer. So if you look into the point, it is 4, 3, 8. This is the point. Now, foot of the perpendicular. So now this foot of the perpendicular lies on this line, x minus a by L, y minus 2 by 3 is equal to z minus b by 4. So what we are going to do now, see, if this is the foot of this is given as 357. So now what will happen is, see, first condition is, if I write the direction ratio of this line, so direction ratio would be nothing but 1, minus 2, 1. This is the direction ratio. So the dot product of these two should be 0. So what we are getting is L into minus 6 plus 4 is equal to 0. So L comes out to be 2. So one thing we have figured out. Second thing that we want to figure out is nothing but A and B. For that we can satisfy 357 in this. So it will become 3 minus A by 2 is equal to 5 minus 2 by 3 is equal to 7 minus b by 4. If I simplify this, you can see that this is coming out to be 1. So 3 minus a by 2 is equal to 1. And this is equal to 7 minus b by 4. So if I equate this, 3 minus a by 2 is equal to 1. 3 minus a is equal to 2. So you can see that a comes out to be 1. And similarly, let us do one more calculation. 7 minus b by 4 is also equal to 1, so b should be equal to 3. So once you figured out these two, now we have got the equation of line. Actually, this equation of line looks like this: x minus 1 by L came out to be nothing but 2 is equal to y minus 2 by 3, and this is equal to nothing but z minus b. B came out to be nothing but 3. So z minus b by 4. So by doing these basic calculations, we have now got the equation of line. Now both the equations of lines are there, we can find the shortest distance. So you can see that little bit of forward and backward movement is there in order to get the equation of line, but fundamentally the idea remains same. And there are at least 10 previous year questions based on the same idea. Now this 2024 question says that they have given the two set of lines. So see, now what they have given is, this is one set of line. The two set of two lines they have given. So one set of line is given, and they are saying that the distance between that is nothing but d1. And then another set of line is given, distance is d2. So they want you to find shortest distance. They want you to apply this formula 2 times in one question, and then finally get the value of this expression. So they are just trying to make that same question longer, but fundamentally it is the same question. Now let us try this 2023 question. Question says that over a vertex of a rectangular parallelepiped is at the origin O, and the lengths of its edges along x, y, z are 3, 4, 5. P be the vertex at 3, 4, 5. So let us see what is happening. So if I draw a diagram, this is how it is somehow. It is a rectangular parallelepiped aligned with the axis. So somehow the diagram would look like this. If I take this as x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, then this point is nothing but P, and the coordinates are given as 3, 4, 5. Now this is 3, so this will become 3, 0, 0. This is nothing but 4, so 0, 4, 0. This point would be nothing but 5, so 0, 0, 5. So this is what is given to us in this question. Now if I look into this question, the next part they are saying is, then the shortest distance between the diagonal OP, this is my origin O, and this is my OP. So if I write OP, this line connecting O and P, now we have got both the coordinates. This is 0, 0, 0. This is 3, 4, 5. So I can write the equation of this line as x minus 0 by 3 minus 0, y minus 0 by 4 minus 0, and z minus 0 by 5 minus 0. So now what they want me to do is, they want me to find the shortest distance with the edge parallel to z axis. So you can see that there are 3 such edges. In fact, multiple, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 such edges which are parallel to z axis. But what they are saying is, they should not pass through origin or O or P. So these two, this one and this one, are out of picture. So there are 2 things left, and since it is symmetrical, if I look into these lines, so if I look into whether it is this line and a combo of this line, the distance between them, whether I take this line or this line, would be the same. So I am considering the other one, I am considering this one. So you can see that for doing this, I will require coordinates of this point. Now this point is nothing but in YZ plane, so x coordinate is going to be 0, and this becomes 0, 4, 5. If you look into this line that is with me, there are 2 vertices. One point is nothing but 0, 4, 5, and another one is nothing but 0, 4, 0. So these are the things that I know. So if I want to write the equation, this will become nothing but x minus 0 by 0 minus 0, y minus 4 by 4 minus 4, and z minus 5 by 0 minus 5. So you can see that you have got both the equations. Apply the shortest distance formula and get the answer. If I look into this 2024 question, this says that let the point is given lie on the line of the shortest distance between. This is a very interesting question. They have given you 2 lines, and now what they are saying is, where the shortest distance will happen, you draw a line there. So this is the line of shortest distance. this point lies on this line. So this is minus 1 alpha beta. Then what they want you to find is alpha minus beta whole square. So fundamentally for this you will have to find this point, that is minus 1 alpha beta. That is what we want to do. Now once you have done this question, if I want to find this line, I will require at least the equation of line. The equation of line can only be got by finding 2 points or a point and a vector parallel to the line. So let us try and do that. So now what we can do is something very interesting. We can take a general point on this first line. So the first line is this. If I take here, equate this to M, a general point corresponding to this can be written as nothing but minus 3m minus 2, 4m plus 2 and 2m plus 5. So this is how a general point looks like. If I consider a general point here, this general point will look like something. If I equate this equation to n, so this will become minus n minus 2, 2n minus 6 and 0 plus 1. So you can see that you have got both the points. So now what I can do is, let us say that this first point is P, the next one is Q. So I can write direction ratios corresponding to PQ. So if I write this direction ratio, what will be the answer? If I subtract them, in the first part you can see that it becomes minus 3m plus n. This is the first one. For getting the second one, from 4n plus 2, I will subtract this, so it will become 4m minus 2n plus 8. And ultimately the last one, from this if I subtract 1, so this becomes 2m plus 4. So you have got the direction ratios of PR, PQ, and by doing this. Now see, one more direction ratio I can obtain by taking cross products of the vector parallel to this line. So we know that parallel to this line is another vector whose direction ratio are nothing but minus 3, 4, 2. And parallel to this line is a vector whose direction ratios are minus 1, 2, 0. So this is first step. Second, we can find a vector parallel to this line by taking cross product of this. So if I take cross product, let us see what do I get. So this is nothing but minus 3, 4, 2. This is minus 1, 2, 0. Let us apply and check what do we get. If I expand it along the first row, what I get is I cap into 0 minus 4 minus j cap into 0 plus 2 and plus k cap into minus 6 plus 4. So corresponding to this, and please check my calculation, is minus 4 I cap, minus 2 j cap and minus 2 k cap. So DRs of a line parallel to this are nothing but 4 minus 4 minus 2 minus 2. If I divide by minus 2, it becomes 2, 1, 1. This is what am I getting. Once I've got this, what I'm seeing is direction, these lines are, these are the same line. So in the third part, I can make these direction ratios that I've got here and here will be in the same ratio. So 3m plus n by 2 should be equal to 4m minus 2n plus 8 by 1, and this should be equal to 2m plus 4 by 1. So we can see that if I want to find this, I can equate any two of these and get answer. So first I will equate these two and get an equation. And if I do so, let us see what do we get. So 4m minus 2n plus 8 should be equal to 2m plus 4. So 2m minus 2n is coming out to be equal to plus 4 is equal to 0. So first equation is m minus n plus 2 is equal to 0. If I equate the first and the last one, so this and this one, let us see what do I get. So if I equate these two, this will be equal to minus 3m plus n will be equal to 4m plus 8, and hence I can simplify it. So if I simplify, this becomes 7m minus n plus 8 is equal to 0. Now what I can do is I can subtract these two equations and get an answer. So if I subtract, this will become 6m plus 6 is equal to 0. So from here the value of m is equal to minus. See, if m is equal to minus 1, this will help us write the equation, because now what we have done is, the third step we have figured out this m. From m we will be able to get this point. So if I put the value of m here, this point becomes minus 3, this will become 3 minus 2, this will become minus 4 plus 2, and this point will become minus 2 plus 5, and as a result this point comes out to be 1 comma minus 2 comma 3. This is what we are getting. So now what you can see is, using this information in step 4 we can write. So what we have is a line on which one point we have just figured out, 1 comma minus 2 comma 3, and the direction ratio of this we already figured out is 2 1 1. So I can write the equation as nothing but x minus 1 by 2, y plus 2 by 1, and z minus 3 by 1. Now satisfy the point minus 1 comma alpha comma beta and find the value of alpha and beta. So you can see that, let us recap what were the things we have done. So what I have done is I have taken a general point P on the first line, Q on the second line. We have subtracted the point to find the drs of PQ. Once we have done that, we can find the same drs by taking cross product of a vector parallel to first line and second line. Then we have taken the ratio of this, figured out the value of m and n respectively. Once you have got the value of m and n, we have got a point on the line. Drs we already know, we have written the equation of line. Once you have done that, we can satisfy and get the value of alpha beta. So this is a very interesting question, and then you can see that there were two more questions of similar type getting framed. This question says that the line equations are given of the line intersectant P and Q. So what they are saying is again similar kind of question. There are two lines given. The line of shortest distance intersects them at P and Q. What they are saying is alpha is the midpoint. So now they are talking about the midpoint of this. So midpoint, let us say R, they have given us nothing but alpha comma beta comma gamma. Then they are asking a relationship between alpha beta gamma. So you can see that this is the exact same question. We will do the same thing. We will take general points on L1 and L2. Second, we will find the dr of PQ. Then we will take cross product of P vector cross Q vector. Then we will take cross product of vectors parallel to the line. So that is nothing but this vector and this vector. These two cross product we will take. And from here we will again get dr. We will compare drs. And the ratio of dr is same. Using this we will get the value of m and n. And from here we will get the points. Once you have got the points, in fifth step we will apply section formula. And from here we will be able to get the value of alpha beta gamma. You can see that using these 5 steps we can easily solve this question. So this is the same question but a little bit modified version. If I go to this next question says that let O be the origin and Mn be the points on the line, such that Mn is the shortest distance between the given lines. Now you can see that another version of similar question. So they are again talking about this P and Q. So instead of P and Q, O is the origin, M and N be the points, such that Mn is the shortest distance. So this is the same question, but now instead of finding this, they want us to find the points like we did in the older question. Then there is an origin given. Join these two vectors. and then take a dot product. This is what they want us to do. You can see that we are again going to do the same thing. Write general points on line. Corresponding to that, find direction ratio of Mn. Third, we are going to take cross product. From there, we are going to find dr. Fourth, we are going to take the ratio. From there, get the value of small n, and ultimately the point Mn. Once we have got that, in the fifth part, we'll get OM vector. And ON vector we have also got. So using these two, we will be able to get the dot product. So using these 5 steps, again we can solve a question. We can see that the first 4 steps are same from the last 3 questions. Now the next problem type that we are going to cover is nothing but intersecting lines. So lines will intersect when the shortest distance between them will become equal to 0. This is the only thing that we need to know regarding this. Rest of the things we'll learn through solving problems. Now, if I look into this question that came in 2024, question says that these 2 lines are given and they are right angle. Find the value of 4 lambda plus 9 mu. So, if you find the direction ratio for first, you will have to write the lines nicely. So, x minus 2 by minus 3, y minus 2 by 3 by 4 lambda plus 1 by 3 will come. And then the last one is nothing but z minus 4 by minus 1. So I told you that you need to be very careful in understanding that the coefficient of x, y and z should be equal to 1. If I look into the second line, it is nothing but x plus y by 3 mu, y minus 1 by 2 by minus 3 and z minus 5 by minus 7. So once you have got the direction ratios from here and here, the dot product should be equal to 0. So we are going to do the dot product. So minus 3 into 3 mu plus 4 lambda plus 1 by 3 into minus 3 plus minus 1 into minus 7, this should be equal to 0. Now let us calculate. So this becomes nothing but 9 mu. This becomes minus 4 lambda minus 1 and this becomes nothing but plus 7 is equal to 0. So you can see that 9 mu plus 4 lambda would be equal to 6. Let us take the options. So you can see option D comes out to be true. So extremely simple question came in 2024. So we need to also realize as a student that some questions will be easy in the exam. Not every question is going to be difficult and lengthy. Now let us look into this another question that came in 2020. Question says that you have been given 2 equations of the line, though not in the most familiar way, but it is given to you. What they are saying is these lines do not intersect for any value of L and M, intersect for all values of L and M, and then intersect when L is equal to 1 and L is equal to 2 and M is equal to 1 by 2. L is equal to 1 and M is equal to 2. So see, there are 2 ways to do this question. One is to apply that condition that shortest distance is equal to 0. So B vector minus A vector dot P vector cross Q vector is equal to 0. But see, there is a problem with this condition that it will not give us relevant values of M and N. So a better way or another way to do the same question. So this is one approach. Another approach to do the same question would be to find the relevant point on both the line. So if I find a general point on this line, it is going to be nothing but 2L plus 1 and another point would be nothing but minus 1 and another coordinate would be nothing but L. So this is a general point on equation 1. So what I have done is I have taken the x, y and z coordinate from this equation of the line that is given to me. Next thing what I can do is, in the second one, I can write a general point. So it is going to come in terms of M. So M plus 2. The y coordinate is going to be M minus 1. And you can see the last coordinate, z coordinate is nothing but minus M. Now if you are saying that they are intersecting, then for some value of L and M, they should be equal. And if they are equal, let us equate them. So simplest way to equate them would be to first equate the y coordinate. So m minus 1 is equal to minus 1. So we are getting this corresponding to m equal to 0. So now if I put m is equal to 0 and compare the x coordinate, no, let us compare the z coordinate. So you can see that L will be equal to minus m. Since m is 0, L will also come out to be 0. Now let us compare the x coordinate. So this was with y, this is with z, and now x coordinate. If I do, then 2L plus 1 should be equal to m plus 2. But if I put these two values equal to 0, 1 is coming out to be equal to 2, so it is not possible. So for all the three equations, we should get consistent values of L and M. Only then we will say that there is a common point or the lines are intersecting. So after doing this, you can clearly see that they do not intersect for any values of L and M. So if you want a detailed answer, do it in this manner. If you just want an answer, apply the first approach. Now in this 2023 question, let us see how to approach this question. Question says that these two equations of line are given. Find the magnitude of minimum value of alpha beta, 8 alpha beta. So first let us write the lines nicely. So by 2 will come, y minus 2 by 3 will come, and z minus 3 by alpha is there. So from here we can extract two informations. One is nothing but the point, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3. This is the point, and a vector that is nothing but 2 comma 3 comma alpha. So this is point and this is vector parallel to it. Another line can be written as x minus 4 by alpha, x minus 4 by 5. X minus 4 by 5 is equal to y minus 1 by 2, and this is equal to z by beta. So again two informations can be extracted. One is a point 4 comma 1 comma 0, and another is a vector corresponding to that 5 comma 2 comma beta. This is beta. Once you have obtained this information, it says that b vector minus a vector dot p vector cross q vector should be equal to 0. That would mean the box should be equal to 0. Let us write the box. So from b vector, that is 4 comma 1, let us subtract the point. So this becomes 3. From 1 if I subtract 2 becomes minus 1. From 0 if I subtract 3 becomes minus 3. From then let us write the p. So 2, 3 alpha and 5 2 beta. Let us expand and this should be equal to 0 in order to find. So this is nothing but the first part of the question. This is the second part of the question. The third part, let us expand and find the value. So if I expand it along this column, let us see what do we get. So minus 3 times 4 minus 15 we will get. Then minus of alpha times 6 plus 5 we will get. And then plus beta times 9 plus 2 we will get, and this is equal to 0. Now if I simplify, let us see what we are getting. So from the first part it becomes 11. So this is 3 into 11. Yeah. And then what we have is nothing but 11 into minus alpha plus 11 into beta is equal to 0. So 11 can be cancelled out. So generally speaking, we are getting the value of alpha minus beta is equal to 3. Now this is what we have got from here. Now there is a fourth part to the question, because they are not asking the value of alpha minus beta, they are asking the minimum value of 8 alpha beta. So see, if I have alpha minus beta is equal to 3 and there is no constraint given on the value of alpha and beta, what we can say is, if I write alpha plus beta ka whole square minus 4 alpha beta, this will be equal to alpha minus beta whole square. If I put the value alpha plus beta whole square, this will be 9 plus 4 alpha beta. So the minimum value of alpha plus beta that we can get, because the question talks about minimum value of this side, the minimum value that it can take is nothing but 0. And in this condition, alpha would be equal to minus beta. So this is the minimum possibility, and if this happens, this expression will also take its minimum value. So 9 plus 4 alpha beta, and in that case will become 0. So 4 alpha beta will be minus 9, and 8 times alpha beta will be equal to minus 18. They are asking the modulus of this value, so answer to this question becomes 18. So you can see that after applying this condition of intersection, we have to do one more step, and using perfect square we are able to get the answer. If I move towards this next question of 2024, question says that let D be the distance of the point of intersection of these lines from this line. Now see, you have to not just apply the condition of intersection, we are saying that find the point of intersection. Okay, so now our approach to of finding the point will work. So our general point on the first line can be written as 3m minus 6, 2m and m minus 1. A general point on the second line can be written as 4n plus 7, 3n plus 9 and 2n plus 4. Now what we can say is this first point and second point is same. So if I equate these two, what we will get is 3m minus 6 will be equal to 4n plus 7. And if I simplify, this is 3m will be equal to 4n plus 13. This is first. And if I write the second part or the third part would be better. M minus 1 will be equal to 2n plus 4. So the value of m from here will be 2n plus 5. If I take this value of m and put it here, let us see what do we get. So 3 times 2n plus 5 is equal to 4n plus 13. So this will become 6n plus 15 is equal to 4n plus 13. So 2n is equal to minus 2. N comes out to be minus 1. So what we are getting is the value of, and this is the first part, n as minus 1. So corresponding to this, the point can be written from here as nothing but minus 4 plus 7, minus 3 plus 9 and minus 2 plus 4. So this simplifies and becomes 3, 6, 2. So this is the point that they are talking about. This is the point of intersection. Once you have got the point of intersection, the next part is simple. Distance of this point of intersection from this point is nothing but d. For finding d in the second part, we will apply the distance formula. So from this, so the difference of x coordinate is nothing but 4. So let us write 4 square. Difference of y coordinate is nothing but 2. So write 2 square. And difference of z coordinate is nothing but 7. So let us write 7 square. Square it and find the answer. Also check my calculation. In this next 2024 question, the question says that let a line passing through this point intersect the line L1 at alpha beta comma L2 at this point, then the value of these two things. Now if you see this general point on this line, first line, it can be written as nothing but 3m plus 1, 2m plus 2 and minus 2m minus 1. This is a general point on this first line. Let us call this point as A. If I want to find this another point, I will have to equate the same line with nothing but n, the second one with n. So this becomes minus 3n minus 2 minus 2n plus 2 and 4n plus 1. This is what we have. Now all of these three line points are nothing but collinear. So let us understand what will that mean. So that would mean if I find the direction ratios from this, these two and these two, it should be the same. So if I apply this condition, what can be written is nothing but, let us do that for the first one. I am going to find it for AC. So dr of AC. So this was the first part. The second part we are writing dr of AC first. So if I write dr of AC, it is going to be nothing but 3m plus 1 minus 1. So this will become 3m plus 2. Then 2m plus 2 and minus 2 will become 2m, and 2 minus 2m minus 1 minus 3 will become minus 2m minus 4. So this is the dr of AC. And the third part, we are find dr of BC. So now we will take this point and out of this we will subtract minus 1. So this becomes minus 3n minus 1. Then minus 2n will happen. And ultimately 4n minus 2 will happen. Now what we can say is, see, these two will have same dr because they are on the same line. So we can compare this direction ratios in the third part. So in the third step, let us compare the direction ratios. So if I write, so what will happen? The ratio is going to be same. So we can write 3m plus 2 by minus 3n minus 1. It should be equal to 2m by minus 2n, and this should also be equal to minus 2m minus 4 by 4n minus 2. See, now you can see from here that we have two equations, two unknowns, and if you equate them, using that we will be able to find the value of m and n, and using that we will be able to find the value of both the points. From there we will get the value of alpha, beta, gamma and ABC. Once you have this, we can find the value of the expression given in the question. So in this way you will tackle this question. So this direction ratio based technique is a very important technique. We have used this technique in solving a lot of questions. Now let us move towards this next question of 2024. Question says that a line with direction ratios, so line ke direction ratios they have given, meets the line respectively at points P and Q. Now see, earlier they had given the point, now they have given the direction ratios directly. Meets the line, so there is one line. There is this one line and another line is like this. Now if of this black line, they have, instead of a point, this time they have given the direction ratios as 2, 1, 2 directly. If I write the first line in a more better manner, so this is what is given. Second part, let us write the lines in a very decent fashion. So I can write this as y plus 2 by 1 and z by 1. So you can see that a general point on this line would be nothing but, if I equate it to m, I will get p, and then I want q also. So p will be nothing but m minus 1, m minus 2 and then m. Wherein if I want to find the value of q, I will have to write the second line in the more decent manner. So x plus 2 by 1, y divided by 1 by 2 and z divided by 1 by 2, which can be simplified into x by 2, y by 1 and z by 1. So if I equate with n, you can see that this point q can also be written as nothing but 2n minus 2, n and n. Once you have got pq, now what they are saying is the direction ratio is to, now in the third part we will find the dr of pq and then take the ratio with 2, 1, 2. So if I do so, it will become nothing but m minus 2n plus 2, m minus n minus 2 and m minus n. These are the drs. Now we can take the ratio with 2, 1, 2. So we can write this as, in the fourth step, m minus 2n plus 2 divided by 2. This will be equal to m minus n minus 2 by 1. It will be equal to m minus n by 2. Now solving this again, we will be able to get the value of m and n. From there we will get point P and Q like we got in the last question. And once you have got that, we will find the length of the perpendicular from the point to the line PQ. So once you have done that, PQ, we will write the equation of line and find perpendicular distance. Now this perpendicular distance question we have done multiple times. Now in this next question of 2023, they have given again two set of lines. A line L3 having direction ratio intersects L1 and L2 at points P and Q respectively in the length of the line segment PQ. Now we have just done this question. How to find those point of intersection PQ? Here in this case the question is direct. They directly want the length of PQ. Now let us look into this next question that came in 2023. Question says that there is a line L. Let us draw this line L and through the origin. So a point is also given. This is line L and be perpendicular to the lines, and this is perpendicular to these two lines. This is L2 and this is L1. Something like this. These are not parallel to each other, by the way, because this is in 3D. Now what they're saying is P the point of intersection of L with L1. So this is nothing but P. And then Q is the foot of perpendicular from P on L2. So from here there is a foot of perpendicular Q. Then they are asking the value of, and this is given as alpha beta. You can see that in this question there are in fact not two, three questions. Now let us understand those questions. See, first of all, if we want to write an equation of a line which is perpendicular to both of these lines. So if I take a vector perpendicular to L1 and L2. So for that, what I can do is I can take this vector here, this vector, and take their cross product. So if I take the cross product of I cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap and cross product with nothing but 2i cap plus 2j cap plus k cap, I will get a vector that is parallel to line. See, once you have got this is a very significant step because point you already knew on the line. If you have got the direction ratios also, in the step 2 we will be able to get equation of line L. Once you have equation of line L, using equations I can get point of intersection of L1 and P, L1 and L. So this point would be nothing but point P. Once you have got this point P, what they are asking is basically the foot of perpendicular. So then this becomes a question of foot of perpendicular that we solved. So this point will become Q, and once you have got Q, you have got your answer. So you can see that in 4 steps we will do, and it is another story that in the 4th step there are 4 steps. So this will become a very lengthy question. If you have less amount of time in the exam, this is highly recommendable to be left in the exam. Now let us move towards 2021 question. This question says that L is the line passing through origin and again perpendicular to the line. So similar kind of question again came. So this is the line L passing through origin, and again they have given that it is perpendicular to two given lines. One is L1 and another one is L2. If the coordinates of the point in the first octant on L2 at a distance root 17 from the point of intersection of L and L1. See, L and L1, let us call this point as P. Now the coordinate of the point in the first octant on L2, which is a distance root 17. So there is a point at a distance root 17 from here. And this point is nothing but ABC. Then find the value. So you can see that again this question has two parts because this distance wala question we have solved in the starting part, and 3-4 questions we solved. So there are again two parts of the question. One is to first get the equation of line L. So for that we'll have, since it is perpendicular to both the line, we'll have to take the vector from here, take the cross product. So a vector parallel to the first line would be nothing but I cap plus 2j cap plus 2k cap. This is the vector, and we'll have to take cross product with the vector parallel to the second line. That will be 2i cap plus 2j cap plus k cap. Once you have got this, using this you have got a vector parallel to line L. Once you have got this, in the second equation, in the second step, we can get equation of L because point is already known. Point is given as origin. So we will be able to get equation of line L. Once you have got the equation of line L, see, now using this you can in the third step find the point of intersection of L and L1. So this will be nothing but point P. Now moving forward, in the fourth step we will take a general point on L2. The general point of L2 can be directly, they have already given here, 3 plus 2s, 3 plus 2s and 2 plus s. And in the fifth step, this general point that we have taken, let us call this point as nothing but Q. In the question they have given the value of PQ as root of 17. We will be able to find a value of s corresponding to it. Once you have got that s corresponding to it, we will be able to get ABC and hence the answer. You can see that this question will be solved using these 5 steps. Now these questions are obviously lengthy in the exam, so it is highly recommendable that you attempt such questions toward the end of the exam. So even if you are unable to do it, there is no harm, and this will not make you leave even more questions in the exam. Now this 2021 question says that the position vector of 2 points P and Q are given to us. Let us say that this is P, this is Q. This point is 3, minus 1, 2, and this point is 1, 2, minus 4. So I keep on writing small data. Now R and S be 2 points such that the direction ratios of PR. So let us say that there is a point R, there is a point S. So PR, if I join this line PR, so let us draw PR. There is a line PR. So what they are saying, the direction ratio of PR is nothing but, this is direction ratio, this is not the point, 4 minus 1, 2. And QS, so there is a line QS also, this is the line QS. Corresponding to this, the direction ratios are nothing but minus 2, 1 minus 2, this is also with us. Now what they are saying is, let the lines PR and QS intersect at a point T. So if I extend this, let us say they intersect at a point T. We can find this T vector because the equations of lines will be known. Then TA vector, this is the first part. So you can see that in the first part of the question, what we are going to do is we are going to write equation of PR, equation of QS, then find T, that is point of intersection corresponding to that. This is the first part of the question. Now the second part says that there are 3 conditions given. TA is perpendicular to both PR and QS. So now if you want to write second part of the question is using vectors. So now they are saying that TA. So TA vector then can be written as some lambda times 4 I cap plus minus j cap plus 2k cap. We will take this vector and take a cross product with a vector parallel to QS. That is nothing but minus 2 I cap plus j cap minus 2k cap. So this is TA vector. T, and now the length of TA is nothing but root 5. So now if you take TA vector ka mod as root 5, from here we can get the value of lambda. So lambda also we have figured out. What is the next part? Then the modulus of position vector of A. See now here, once you have got TA vector, in the third step, if you know TA vector, it is nothing but OA vector minus OT vector. See, OT vector we already figured out when we figured out the point T. So this is known, TA vector is known, we will be able to get OA vector. So using these 3 specific steps, you will be able to solve this question. Again, needless to say that this is also a lengthy question. Now let us see this 2024 question. Question says that P be the point of intersection of these 2 lines. Then find the shortest distance of P from this line. So you can see that again there are 2 parts. First part is we have to find the point of intersection. Now this we have done for a lot of questions. That we will do in the second part once we have got that point P. Now what they are asking, what is the shortest distance of P from this line? So we have to find the perpendicular distance. Now this point we will find and put it here. Equation of this line let me write for you. X by 1 by 4, y by 1 by 2 and z. If I multiply by 4 in the denominator, this becomes 1. this becomes 2 and this becomes 4. So we have got the line, we have got the point from the first part. We will be able to find this distance because we have done such kind of questions. Now let us look into this next 2024 question. Now this question is very interesting and very easy because what they are saying is L1 and L2 are perpendicular. So if these lines are perpendicular, these direction ratios will also become perpendicular. So I can take their dot to 3 plus minus 1 plus 2p will be equal to 0. So you can see that the value of 2p plus 2 is equal to 0, p becomes nothing but minus 1. This is what it is. Now what they are saying is L3 is perpendicular to L1 and L2 both. So you can see that L3 is passing through origin. This is very interesting. And L3 is perpendicular. So if I want to find this vector, it can be very easily found if I take the cross product of these two vectors parallel to the L1 and L2 vector. So if I want to find this, it will become nothing but ijk. Take the cross product. So 1 minus 1 2 and 3 1 and p we have figured out minus 1. So what we have got is a vector. So we have got L3. So once you have got this, using this we will be able to get equation of L3. And once you have equation of L3, we can satisfy the points and get the answer. So it is a very simple question, nothing very complicated. Now let us look into seventh type of problem, that is coplanar lines. Now if the lines are in the same plane, what would that mean? So that could mean two different things. If the lines in the same plane, they could be parallel or a matter of fact they can be coincident also, or they can be intersecting. It will reduce into one of these three cases. See, JEE has not asked these two cases till now. Mostly whatever questions have been are on this third part only. So if the lines are parallel, you know their DRs will be same. DRs will be proportional. If they are coincident, this condition plus there should be a common point. And if this condition happens, we already know that the condition b vector minus a vector dot p vector cross q vector, this should be equal to 0. This is the condition of intersection. So if either of these three cases could be there, though whatever questions has been, it has been on the third case. So let us see that they are saying that these are coplanar lines. This is coplanar with which one of the lines. So since I know the option, this is the right answer. I will show you how to do it. So you can see that if you write your b vector minus a vector, what will happen to it? So let us say that b vector you are getting from here. So that would be minus 3 1 5. And a vector you are getting from here. So that is nothing but minus 1 2 5. So if you intelligently observe, what is happening is here in the denominator also they have written minus 2, minus 1 2 5. Here also they have written minus 3 1 5. So see, what is happening is if I find b vector minus a vector, so that would become nothing but minus 3 minus minus 1. This would be one thing. Another would be nothing but 1 minus 2, and another thing would be nothing but 5 minus 5. What is happening here is, see, then if you write p vector, that will be corresponding to this first one. So it will be minus 1 2 5. And if you write q vector, it will be corresponding to this first line. It is nothing but minus 3 1 5. So what will happen is, you will get this minus 3 minus 1 minus of minus 1. Then 1 minus 2 and 5 minus 5. So it is a very intelligent question. So what they have done is they have matched these to this. So what will happen is, if I write it down also, and minus 3 1 5 you will see that if I subtract this from the first row and if I add this to the first row, the value of the determinant will become 0. Now this is only happening, this peculiarity, because whatever is written here, it is also written here. Whatever is written here is also written here. It's only happening in B option and this question, and hence this becomes the correct option. So it is based on intersection of the lines. So first thing that I observed before even observing this was check whether the lines are parallel or not. So clearly I could see there are no parallel lines. Now the direction courses are not proportional. So there is no question of checking the case for coincident or parallel lines. If I move to this next question, again what I can do is I can apply the same thing. What they are saying is these are coplanar, then L2 line passes through which point? So you can see that there are two parts of the question. First part of the question will apply the condition of coplanarity. So clearly you can see that the direction ratios are not proportional. Will apply the intersection wali condition. And once we have got that, we will have the value of alpha as a result of this. So we have got L2. Using this, we will check the option which one satisfies it. Now the next type of problem is nothing but the last type, that is 8th problem type, and it is based on nothing but angle bisector. Now what happens in the case of angle bisector? So if there are two lines given, two things can happen. One is they are written in such a manner that you can see in this case they are written in such a manner that this vector is same. So I have already given a common point on both the lines. So either common point will be given or it will not be given. If it is given, you already know this point. This is a vector. Now in vectors we learned that if there are two lines and there is a vector corresponding to that, this is B vector parallel to this vector, and there is a C vector parallel to this vector. So this internal angle bisector we can get by will be in the direction of B cap plus C cap. This is the direction, and this external angle will be in the direction of B cap minus C cap. We know this. So once you know that, you know the direction, this line is very easy to write. This will become R vector is equal to A vector plus lambda times B cap plus C cap. And this another equation of the line will become R vector is equal to A vector, because this vector is known, plus mu times B cap minus C cap. It is as simple as that. So you have got both the equations. Now let us see what kind of questions are asked in 2019. So this question looks like a vector question, but is a 2D question. So I will convert this into a 2D question. Why to do it in 3D? Question says that there are only two, you can say I and J involved. This is important to observe. You can see that there is a point A that is root 3 comma 1. So this is a point that is root 3 comma 1. There is a point that is 1 comma root 3. So this is what they are saying is this is point A, this is point B. This is what is given to us. And this is origin. This is also given. Now what they are saying is the angle bisector of the acute angle. So that would mean a line that goes like this. Now this is given to us. What they are asking is basically, this is the first part. So let us do the first part. So you can see that if I observe, this angle is nothing but 30 degree. Tan theta is equal to y by x. And this angle is equal to 60 degree. So you can see that if I want to find this angle, this is going to be 45 degree. A line with slope 45 degree passing through origin. This line will become y is equal to x. So we have found the equation of angle bisector just by observing it correctly. Now in the second part of the question, let us move ahead. What they have said that if you know the equation of the line, the perpendicular distance, so the perpendicular distance from a point beta comma 1 minus beta, this distance is equal to 3 by root 2. Find the sum of all possible values of beta. So let us apply the distance formula. So beta minus 1 minus beta ka mod by root 2 is equal to 3 by root 2. It is such a simple question. We will cancel this out. 2 beta minus 1 ka mod will be equal to 3. So from here, 2 beta minus 1, either it can be equal to 3 or 2 beta minus 1 equal to minus 3. So from here the value of beta comes out to be 2. From here it comes out to be minus 1. If I find the sum of these values, it is going to be 1. Let us check the option. So option A matches. Very simple question. If I move forward, this 2024 question says that, and this we also did while doing vectors, is there is a point A at 1, 3, 2. There is a point B at minus 2, 8, 0. And there is a point C at 3, 6, 7. Now we have these 3 points. If the angle bisector of BAC, so what you have is nothing but an angle bisector. So now if I want to find AD vector, the first thing I should understand is, I will have to apply section formula. Now for section formula, we need to have the ratio of BD is to DC. Now we know that BD is to DC is nothing but same as AB is to AC, and AB is to AC we can find by finding the length of AB and AC. So AB vector, if you find, it is nothing but, it will be nothing but minus 3i cap plus 5j cap minus 2k cap. So the modulus of AB vector becomes nothing but root of 9 plus 25 plus 4. So this becomes nothing but 34 root 38. Similarly, if you find AC vector, it is equal to nothing but 3 minus 1 will become 2. So 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap. Again, if I find the root, let us see what do I get. So it is 4 plus 9 plus 16. So you can see that it becomes root of 29. Ratio of ABs to AC becomes nothing but root of 38 by root of 29. See, once you have got AB by AC, now you can apply in the next step section formula. After applying section formula, you will be able to get the OD vector. This vector we will be able to find. Once you have this, in the third step, you will be able to find AD vector. AD vector is nothing but OD vector minus OA vector. And once you have this, in the fourth step, we will find projection. Now, projection we have done in detail in vectors. Now, let us look into this 2024 question. Question says that if OB the origin and position vectors of A and B are, this is given as 2, 2, 1, this is A, and B is given as nothing but 2, 4 and 4. This is O, this is B. The question says that the internal angle bisector of AOB, so internal angle bisector goes like this, meets the line AB in nothing but C. Then find the length of OC. Now this is exactly the same question that we did earlier. We'll find OA vector come mod. In this case it will come out to be 3. Then we'll find OB vector come mod. In this case it will come out to be 6 based on the values. So we know that if I want to find nothing but OC vector, I will have to apply section formula. And for that I will want AC, and for that I will want ratio of AC by CB, and that would be nothing but OA by OB. Now we know that this is nothing but 3 by 6, so this becomes 1:2. Once you have got this ratio, we will apply section formula, we will get the OC vector, and in the third step we will put a mod over that and find the magnitude. I hope you enjoyed this one short video in which we went into the details of different kinds of problems that can be formed and how to solve them. If you like this series, it is highly advisable that you opt for PracBee's revision program, in which we have divided 10 weeks into 10 blocks, and every week we cover one block, and in that you have a target of solving one chapter in a day, and these lecture series is in combination of that revision program. I hope you like the video. It will be great if you can drop a comment and let me know what more we can do for you. So if you find this interesting, it is highly recommendable that you click on the link in the description box and try and join the series as well. See you until next one.